The Wall of Fire. The boardroom smelled of dusted oak and recirculated air. Alexander Kupferman, a man who wore his wealth like a shroud, sat at the head of the long table. "Let's not waste time," he said, his voice ablade. "You are here for the wall. Your job is to keep it in check. You are not colleagues. You are rivals." His gaze swept over the assembled scientists, a collection of brilliant minds now bound to his will. At the far end of the table, Thelonious Monk sat in quiet observation. He had not been invited, but his presence was a weight in the room. Kupferman's eyes narrowed. "And you?" he snapped. "What are you doing here?" Monk met his gaze, his expression unreadable. "I was asked to keep an eye on things," he said, his voice calm and steady. In the lab, the Wall of Fire was a thing of terrible beauty. It was a loop of 12 braided arcs, humming with a power that felt ancient and alive. Dr. Kenji Tanaka, a man whose brilliance was matched only by his shyness, watched the plasma vectors on his monitor. "The containment field is stable," he murmured, but his voice trembled. The air around the coils was cold, and shadows bent in ways that defied physics. Dr. Samuel Reed, whose whimsy was a shield against the world's harsh edges, felt a strange doubling in his thoughts. He heard his own voice, but it was not his own. It was an echo, a whisper from a place that should not exist. He looked at Dr. Tanaka, but the other man was lost in his work, his face, a mask of concentration. Dr. Eris Thorne, a woman whose faith was as strong as her intellect, found herself praying. But her prayers returned to her altered, as if they had been intercepted and rewritten by a malevolent intelligence. She looked at the wall, and for a moment, she saw not a machine, but a shrine to a god of chaos. Dr. Mateo Castillo, a man of faith who hid his devotion behind a wall of logic and reason, felt a profound sense of dread. He saw the wall not as a tool, but as a weapon, a device designed to sever the connection between humanity and the divine. He scribbled in his notebook, his hand shaking, "We are not documenting fire. We are nourishing it." Dr. Alara Vance, a linguist who had dedicated her life to the study of dead languages, found herself dreaming in echoes. The symbols she had spent years deciphering now appeared to her in her sleep, but they were twisted, their meanings perverted. She woke up screaming, the echoes of a dead language ringing in her ears. Thelonious Monk was a spy, a man who lived in the shadows. He had been hired to watch the scientists, to report their every move to Kupferman. But the wall had changed him. He saw the scientists not as targets, but as victims. He saw Kupferman not as a visionary, but as a madman. He began to feed Kupferman false information, to sabotage the project from within. Kupferman, blinded by his own ambition, saw nothing amiss. He believed the project was a success, that he was on the verge of unlocking the secrets of the universe. "Activate the wall," he commanded, his voice filled with triumph. "Let there be darkness, stolen from the senses." The Wall of Fire roared to life. The room was filled with a blinding light, and the air crackled with energy. The scientists screamed as their minds were torn apart, their perceptions shattered. Thelonious Monk closed his eyes, a single tear tracing a path down his cheek. "Present at the collapse," he whispered. "A miracle, inevitable and necessary." The Wall of Fire burned, not with flame, but with certainty undone.